From starting a decade-long fight because of Scarlett Johansson to bringing their feud on screen in Deadpool 3, here's Hugh Jackman and Ryan Reynolds' relationship revealed. These two actors are iconic in the superhero world, but their real-life rivalry is even more legendary, and it started on the sets of X-Men Origins, Wolverine. Let's start by returning to the late 2000s, when Hugh was living his best life playing Wolverine. He finally got his solo flick in 2009 and met Ryan for the first time there. The Canadian wisecracker had a small role as one of the villains, but before you knew it, this on-screen beef turned into a real one. And believe it or not, the reason was Scarlett Johansson. Jackman was a close friend of Scarlett, who just married Reynolds while X-Men Origins was filming. So the Aussie actor used to ream his co-star about his then-wife, telling him to be on his best behavior, while flaunting his friendship with the Black Widow star. Now the Wrexham co-owner usually keeps his mouth shut about this movie, literally. It brings his worst memories out, maybe even more than his Green Lantern days. But he didn't let the clawsome actor's comments about his ex-wife slide, and the two have been at each other's throats since then. It's like they're stuck in a never-ending Wolverine versus Deadpool showdown. Interestingly, fate always brings them against each other. Like in 2008, Jackman won People magazine's Sexiest Man Alive, and the Free Guy star won that 2 years later. In 2015, the X-Men alum was again nominated for the Sexiest Man Alive title, but Rye couldn't let him one-up him. He posted a video wearing the cringe Deadpool prosthetic makeup, imitating his enemy and his Aussie accent. On the outside, he was motivating people to vote for Jackman, but his ugly look made many people think he was intentionally ruining his co-star's chances to win. And that was the beginning of their not-so-friendly Twitter wars. The Merc with a mouth never missed an opportunity to drag his opponent, even in his movies. Like when his first Deadpool movie was about to drop, he made a video for Australia Day, wearing his superhero costume. You'd think he was promoting his film in Australia, but he only made fun of Hugh's Wolverine, calling it a career low for him. He said he couldn't forgive Australia for giving the world this horrible movie. And it didn't end there. He made fun of Jax in the movie, too, wearing a weird mask of his face. Ooh, is someone throwing shade? But it ain't one-sided, oh no. Hugh may look all grumpy and serious as Logan, but the guy's got a wicked sense of humor and always claps back in the wittiest way possible. He returned the favor by wearing a paper cut out of Ryan's face when the Adam Project actor got his Hollywood Walk of Fame star. He even joked about how a guy who failed his drama class got this achievement. Ooh, shots fired. One thing's for sure, they've kept everyone entertained by throwing back-to-back jabs at each other. But the truth is, they might act like they've got beef with each other, but they've got a strong bromance going on. The two are probably sharing a laugh behind the scenes and plotting the next prank like a pair of mischievous teenagers. And man, the fans are fully invested in this fake feud, waiting for the next savage tweet to drop. Thankfully, these frenemies do not disappoint. Not only do they keep posting their hilarious fights online, they've dragged in other celebrities too. Jake Gyllenhaal joined the fun during Christmas celebrations in 2018, when the three gathered for a supposedly ugly sweater party, but the joke was on Ryan, because he was the only one wearing a Christmas sweater, with a huge golden bow on his chest. He posted the image online where Jackman and Jake are standing next to him, laughing at him. Still, gotta give it to HJ. He wore the same ugly sweater for the next Christmas, posting a picture online hugging his last year's prank victim, although there's no Gyllenhaal this time. But get this, even their families are not spared, guys. When the proposal actor sat down to interview his rival in 2016, they even joked about Blake Lively, Reynolds' wife, having an affair with Jackman. Then, in 2018, the Australian actor took to Twitter, posting a sweet anniversary post for his wife, and Ryan retweeted it, saying, he gave this relationship 3 months tops. Thankfully, both their wives know they're kidding, otherwise some would say this stuff is getting into dangerous territory. Maybe that's why they called for a truce in 2019. The Deadpool actor posted a picture on Twitter with his frenemy with the caption, "Official Truce." The two are all smiles in it, even shaking their hands on the done deal. Not gonna lie, it made some fans kinda bummed, thinking the online entertainment has ended. But did it end? Knowing these two, you best believe it hasn't. They again trolled each other on National Best Friends Day, bringing Gyllenhaal into it once more. A year later, Hugh celebrated their truce anniversary. On the same day, they made the official announcement. But you know what's the best part of their shenanigans? They use it for good causes too. On 20th April, the dudes called for a ceasefire, agreeing not to disagree for one day, to participate in the All-In Challenge. This noble effort was to raise money to fight food insecurity during COVID, as the lockdowns made it difficult for many people to put food on their tables. So they're like real-life superheroes. But make no mistake, the fight was only put on hold. Only 4 days after their ceasefire, the Aussie appeared on the Today Show, assuring fans the feud is not over. He mentioned their wives, Deborah Lee Furness and Blake, motivated them to participate in the All-In Challenge. He also joked, saying he's staying in touch with Lively during the pandemic, cause being stuck with Reynolds would have been brutal for her. Man, it's like they compete to see who can out-snark the other, and let me tell you, it's a close call. But while this fun and games continue, the two never fail to support each other. They always promote each other's business ventures on social media accounts. Like after they announced their truce, Ryan made an ad for Hugh's company, Laughing Man Coffee, calling his enemy his friend. HJ did something similar promoting Reynolds' aviation gin. Though I gotta admit, they brightened things up, adding their personalized, witty, entertaining touches to them. The X-Man alum ended his ad praising the gin, but calling his friendly foe an a-hole, saying he didn't think the truce was real. Oh, now that's cheeky. Still, don't mistake it for him not supporting his buddy. When the Red Notice star opened up about his struggle with anxiety, his pal was right there supporting his mate and applauding him for trying to remove the stigma around mental health conversations. That's not all. He's the one who praised Ryan so much before Sean Levy that the filmmaker began a super successful partnership with the actor and even moved next to him as his neighbor. This director-actor duo has delivered hit films like Free Guy, The Atom Project, and now Deadpool 3 is in the works. Still, the online banter never stops. Their decade-long rivalry has now become an iconic part of pop culture, and what more proof than this? It's about time the viewers get a Deadpool and Wolverine team-up movie. The Canadian wisecracker thought something similar. That's why he'd been trying for ages to convince Old Man Logan. And what do you know, folks? His efforts are finally paying off. This dynamic duo is reuniting in Deadpool 3 as their most iconic characters. Man, the superhero buffs are in for a massive feast. Given their online exchanges, you better believe you're in for a heck of a ride for this team-up. Featuring way more sarcastic zingers and killer comebacks. Even the movie's announcement came in a hilarious way, with Ryan sitting before the camera, talking about how he has run out of ideas for a threequel. Then he asks Hugh if he'd star in it, and in a true Wolverine fashion, he walks into the frame grunting a yes, and the video ends. Safe to say, fans went insane after this bombshell dropped, and who'd blame them? It's one of the most awaited superhero team-up ever. So the two posted another video 24 hours later with explanations. Most viewers wondered how this get-together would happen, cause, spoiler alert, didn't Wolverine die in his 2017 finale Logan? Yes, he did. But apparently there's some multiverse madness involved. And now, the Merc with the mouth and the mutant with the adamantium claws are coming for your screens. As for their relationship in the movie, you'd be glad to know it'll reflect their ongoing beef. The Aussie icon has hyped up fans by saying, Wolverine will hate the wisecracking Deadpool, and the two will always be at odds. Seems like you've got a legendary, reluctant buddy cop flick in the making. If the cops were mutants, of course. You know what that means? As the promotion of this movie starts, these two will probably up their attacks to a whole new level, and fans are here for it. Let's hope their hilarious banter never ends, and may we forever be entertained by their antics. So, from bringing their feud on screen in Deadpool 3, to starting a decade-long fight because of Scarlett Johansson, that was Hugh Jackman and Ryan Reynolds' relationship revealed.